Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi min wala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the beginning of Surah Al-Buruj swears 3 times on one thing. Allah says, وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. So what Allah is swearing is by something significant. Of course, as people, we only swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Allah chooses to swear by whatever He wants. And what Allah is swearing on is that the people of the Ukhdud, the people of the story, actually were to be cursed. And Allah says, Qutila means sometimes in the Quran, in the context of the Quran, it means that they were cursed or condemned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by 3 things. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ. The last 2 will be discussed in different episodes. But in the first one, Allah is swearing by the sky with al-Buruj. What is al-Buruj? Al-Buruj actually is plural of Burj, which means anything that is prominent. And al-Buruj normally may be used to refer to castles, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيِّدَةٍ, even if you're like in established castles. But also al-Buruj means the stars or the positions of the stars, like those that a group of stars that have a fixed position creating different shapes. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing by the universe in that regard. And that has a significance as to the story that is upcoming. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course the story happened in Najran in Yemen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing by the universe versus or in comparison with the trench, al-Ukhdud. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing by the day of judgment as opposed to the things that they did. In other words, there will be accountability for the things that they did. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing by the witness and the witnessed. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indicating, or the significance of that is that the judgment will be actually controlled and documented. So what is al-Buruj? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again is swearing by the universe with the constellation, and that has a significance. Like I said, first in the context of the story, and also before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even starts the story, mentions that these 3 things. It's a sad story of people that were basically killed for standing up for what they believe in, but yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts by putting things in the proper perspective. Even though it's a sad story, but the focus is not to be on the story and forgetting the bigger reality. I guess, like I said, it happened in Najran in Yemen. So what is Najran compared to the universe? And it happened on that sad day. What is that day compared to the day of judgment? Because a lot of the time when we go through any difficulty or hardship, we tend to focus actually on that hardship, make it the whole of existence or the whole of life. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to basically expand our window of perception and to see things in the proper perspective, to make sure that the sad event or the bad things that we go through do not basically summarize our whole life. That there's more into it than that. Life is bigger than that. Life was bigger than the story of al-Ukhdud. And life continued afterward, as we will see later on in the story. So sometimes, like I said, when we go through any difficulty, we tend to focus on that as if there's nothing else happening with that. Eventually it will pass and there will be life after the hardship. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, سَيَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ مِن بَعْدِ عُسْرٍ يُسْرًا, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring after the hardship a relief. That's why the hardship does not define basically life or define all of existence, but there's more beyond that. So once you have that in perspective, then you move on into reading the story and deriving lessons from it. Jazakumullah khair walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.